G'day there, ladies and gents. Mark Wallace here from Econisis. Hope you're all doing well today. It is the 20th of June, 2023, and just some breaking news coming out from the RBA's release of the latest board meeting notes, in which finally they've acknowledged the fact that inflation is not just solely the cause of lazy, greedy workers, which has been their up and down dogmatic line to this extent, but in fact they've acknowledged the fact that the private sector and the companies on the supply side are actually contributing significantly to this process. One of the things the RBA is trying to get their heads around is why the fact that their monetary policy actions to date have been wholly ineffective, and that monetary policy and interest rates is proving to be highly, almost useless in terms of addressing inflationary pressures. And I touched a little bit on that in a video. You can go and check that one out as well. But there was a comment that was made in there about the fact that they're worried about wages being indexed to inflation, and they've been talking about that from the beginning. Philip Lowe mentioned that really early on in the raising cycle about how bad that would be if people wanted an actual pay rise that kept in line with the cost of living crisis, how terrible that would be. However, in the most recent notes, they finally acknowledged the fact that there's a number of businesses and large parts of the business community that have been effectively fixing their prices to inflation increases, indexing their prices to inflation increases, even if their own costs of production haven't been going up, and even in the face of falling demand. And so what's happened is it's created this false pricing signal in the market where prices remain high, which is an indicator, an output-based indicator of inflationary pressures in the economy. But it's not being driven by demand-side factors. It's being driven by what is effectively price gouging. People, and so as a result of that, the general community and the public are basically being gouged money. And as a result of that, we've seen sky-high profits coming from a number of sectors around the economy, despite the fact that demand, all indicators of demand have fallen off quite significantly. And so finally, I think we've got some RBA acknowledgement, far overdue, and maybe could have saved us 3 rate rises. But yeah, we've got some genuine price gouging recognition and some indexing behaviors being recognized by the RBA in terms of company prices. This is obviously not a great thing in the sense that we don't want this type of action to happen, but the fact that the RBA seems to finally be recognizing reality is hopefully the first step in them coming to a more reasonable and more logical approach to how they want to address inflationary pressures going forward into the future. And the obvious thing to do would be to be bringing in the ACCC and looking at anti-competitive price gouging, anti-consumer behaviors that we're starting to see emerge in the current cycle. But yeah, that was a big one from today. I'm not sure if it's, hopefully it will take some courage. I'm not sure it's going to take some courage going forward, but I think that's a really positive thing that we've seen coming from the RBA. Certainly the most positive acknowledgement of reality we've seen from them in quite some time. But that's it for today, ladies and gents. Thanks for the short video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're enjoying these videos, and if you have, and make sure you go and hit that subscribe button so you can see when new ones drop. I'm going to keep posting these on LinkedIn as well as I release them. But that's it for today. Thanks everybody. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.